Hello again, I'm Audney Reynolds and welcome to another video review. Today I'm looking at the Cooler Master HAF 922 case. This mid-tower ATX case has a military theme and comes in a black color. It is constructed from steel except for a few plastic parts. At the top there's a 200mm exhaust fan, and if preferred this fan can be removed and up to two 120mm fans can be installed instead. There's a very convenient tray at the top for an MP3 player, USB flash drive, camera, etc. Here's the fan LED button, power button, reset button, power LED, hard drive activity LED. There are two USB 2 ports, a microphone jack, headphone jack, as well as an external serial ATA port. At the front there's five 5¼ drive bays. One doubles as a 3.5" drive bay. Each of the drive bay covers is ventilated and comes with a dust filter. There's a red LED 200mm intake fan at the bottom, which comes with a dust filter, although in order to remove the dust filter, the front bezel has to be taken off, and that requires removing 6 screws. A 5¼ to 3.5" drive bay adapter is included, which enables an external 3.5" drive to be installed in one of the 5¼ drive bays. They also include a 3.5" drive bay cover. The left side panel has lots of honeycomb ventilation and an optional 200mm or two 120mm intake fans can be installed, but there's no dust filter. The right side panel doesn't have a window, ventilation, or fans. At the back there are two holes for a water cooling system's tubes to pass through. Here's where the motherboard's I/O shield plate gets installed, and they include a 120mm exhaust fan, but a 92mm or 80mm fan can be installed if preferred. There are 8 expansion slots, 7 in the standard location and another one here. A standard ATX power supply gets installed at the bottom, and they include 4 thumb screws, 2 on each side panel. This case fits micro ATX and standard ATX form factor motherboards. There's a fair amount of room to work on the inside, but unfortunately the motherboard tray is not removable. They include a motherboard template, which is great because it really takes the guesswork out of where to put the motherboard standoffs. A total of 6 hard drives can be installed. 5 hard drives can be installed in the toolless hard drive rail mounts, and 1 can be installed using the 5¼ to 3.5" drive bay adapter. Installing hard drives in these toolless, removable hard drive rail mounts is really easy. First, remove the rail mount, then just place the hard drive in, and then just slip it back into the drive bay. Installing drives in the 5¼ drive bays is also a toolless operation. First, just release the 5¼ drive bay cover by pushing from the inside. Now just slide the drive into the drive bay and push here to secure it. If you want to remove the drive, just push again and push the drive back out. Thumb screws are used on the expansion slots, so installing cards is also toolless. The motherboard tray has a couple of cable management holes. There's a large one here at the bottom and another one at the top. These allow cables to be hidden behind the motherboard tray, which cuts down on the cable mess inside the case. This not only looks great, but it improves airflow inside the case. Also note this very large hole on the motherboard tray, which allows access to the heatsinks or water blocks mounting hardware. Since many heatsinks and water blocks require mounting hardware to be installed on the back of the motherboard, this hole means that you won't have to remove the motherboard if you wish to remove or replace the heatsink or water block. This is extremely handy and an enormous time saver. There's extra ventilation at the bottom of the case for the power supply's fan, but they do not include a dust filter. Also note the rubber footing for the power supply to rest on. Another optional 120mm or 140mm intake fan can be installed at the bottom, but again they do not include a dust filter. All intake fans should have dust filters to keep the dust out of the case. At the bottom there are 4 feet with rubber inserts. These have excellent anti-vibration properties and won't scratch the surface. Finally, have a listen to the stock cooling. Like its big brother, the 932 case, this mid-size tower case has many of the same features, but I wish they would have included a removable motherboard tray, an all-black interior, and dust filters on all of the intake fans. But considering the look, the overall build quality, and the features that this case has for a mid-size tower case that's reasonably priced, it really is a kick-ass product. Until next time, take care.